Hey, fabulous people. It is Friday. Happy Friday. And also happy St. Patrick's Day. I reached into my closet today to get something green and I realized I don't wear green, so I have nothing green to offer for St. Patty's Day. But happy St. Patty's Day to you. I am Elise Tager. I'm a Facebook ad strategist. I provide Facebook ad strategy and implementation to coaches and service provider entrepreneurs to help them build a steady stream of clients and leads that we can put on automatic pilot and help you grow your business. So that's what I do. And every Friday I am doing a short 10 or 15 minute video with some tips on how to use Facebook to help you grow your ads and to also grow your businesses, and then also think strategically about how you can use this incredible medium for Facebook ads. So that's what I'm doing today. What I want to talk about today is one of my favorite topics because I get this question all the time, which is how much should I spend on my Facebook ads? Boy, I get that question in emails and online all the time. So I just want to address it. And the answer you probably won't like. The answer is it depends. It depends on what your objective is. It depends on what you really want to be doing. And before I even go any further, the one thing I want you to be careful of is that famous you only need to spend $5 a day thing. And the issue is you can spend, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, you can spend $5 a day, but you're not going to learn much and you're not going to get very far. And if you want to grow at a snail's pace, by all means, spend only $5 a day. But let me address that a little bit later. But before we get too much further, I just want to make sure that you sort of tuck that in the back of your mind because it's not the best strategy of all. So, by the way, I have a sample campaign spreadsheet that will be available to you to download, and I'll put that in the notes. Facebook Live. I'll put that in the notes so you can click on it and link to see how I set up a Facebook ad strategy for any of my clients. So that's available to you if you want it. So back to our story. Again, how much should I spend on my ads? It depends on what your objective is. Are you list building? Are you getting people to a webinar? Are you getting to come to an event or to your blog post? Is there a course sign up involved? Are you trying to drive people to your retail store? All of those objectives are different and they all will have a different minimal spend that I would suggest. So the first thing you want to think about is what you're trying to accomplish with your Facebook ad spend. So for any and all of these objectives though, you want to take a step back and think about your metrics. Do you know your metrics that are going to help you get to the real question, which is how much should you be spending? So how many people will click through on your ad? And that's the click-through rate. Once that person gets to your landing page, how many people are actually, whatever you've asked them to sign up for? And so that's your landing page conversion rate. And then once they opt in, how many are actually buying? So all of these pieces you need to know, hopefully you should know, what your rates of conversion are so that you know what you can then afford to spend to create a Facebook ad strategy. So, okay, how much should I spend? You're probably thinking. So let me address that a little bit more specifically. So think of all the audiences that you can be testing, right? You can think about all the variables you can be testing. So you can be testing various audiences for a variety of ads, copy, headlines. There's a lot of testing that you can be doing. And the more variables you test, the more you'll learn about your Facebook ads strategy, about how to grow on Facebook. Remember, this isn't about throwing a couple of ads up and hoping for the best. You can do that, but it's a great waste of money. It's a great waste of your time. And if you're going to be on Facebook at all, from a marketing standpoint, set yourself up for success so that you have a strategy in mind before you start getting involved. Again, Facebook is not about throwing up a few ads. It's about having a good, solid strategy to help you build your business. So let me lay out a sample test strategies, test campaign that might answer that question more specifically. And this is pretty much how I would work with my clients to get them started. So my first suggestion is that you always test for 1 week. At least your initial campaign should be for 1 week. And that is because it takes the Facebook algorithm 2 to 3 days to really start humming. So Facebook's not going to start producing its best results for you until you give it some time. So that's 3 days or so. The 4th and 5th day, you really want to be looking at what their performance is. You can be tweaking, you can be taking down the ads that aren't not doing the best. You can make a few adjustments, that we call that optimizing, but you want to give it some time. And so it really would be the first week or so that you're going to come up with the results that you want. So you're going to test for 7 days. You're going to test, let's say, 5 audiences. And you're going to test with each of those 5 audiences 2 different ad versions. So right there, you've got 5 times 2, you've got 10 ad sets that you want to run for 7 days. And if you only spend $5 per ad set, that's 5 times 10, that's $50 a day. For 7 days, that's $350. So right there, $350 is your initial spend to test your campaign or to do an initial campaign test. I don't usually test with $5 per ad set. I think that doesn't allow you enough data to really believe the results. So I usually suggest that my clients, in fact, insist that my clients start with $10 a day per ad set. So now we're up to $700 for that initial test. So to make this long story short, that initial campaign that you're running is going to run you between $350 and $700. I usually pitch it at $500 to get started. So that's going to give you, you're going to learn a lot. If you don't already know your numbers, this testing period should be what your business is going to tell you what your business model can support. And that's the whole purpose. You can't go into Facebook ads blindly. You want to know or any paid traffic blindly. You want to know what you can pay per lead. And so at the end of this, you're going to find out how much you can pay per lead, what's your typical conversion rate from lead to becoming a customer. And then the most important figure of all for any paid traffic is you want to know how much you can pay for a new customer. Then you can work backwards to how much do you want to spend. So if you know that you can pay $50 for a new customer, I don't know what the offer is with $500, and you know that you can spend $50 to get a new customer, that will help you work back to figure out how much you're going to have to spend to get X number of new customers to reach X amount of new revenue. But you have to know those metrics first before you can back into all that math. So what a good strategy should be doing for you, it should be building your email list with qualified prospects at a minimal cost per lead. The least you can afford, because your overall intention here is just to build up your list. So that's one thing it should be doing. You really want to know that your Facebook ads campaigns are going to get you 3 times or 4 times or 10 times your ad spend in revenue. That's the point of running Facebook ads. If you spend $100, you want to get to the point where you know that for every $100 you spend, you're going to get $1,000 back in revenue, or $500 or what have you. So where you're trying to go with this whole testing strategy is to figure out what's the least amount of money you can spend on Facebook to get you to the most amount of revenue. And that's going to tell you what you can afford to spend on an ongoing basis. So back to that $5 a day. You can do that, but as you can see from the test matrix I just put out there, you're not going to learn much. You're not going to learn, if you're testing 5 audience, you're going to find that, 1 is fabulous, a great performer, 2 will be okay, and there's 1 audience that you tested that was just horrible. So you know that the next time that you test, you go out with a campaign, you're going to only select from those 2 or 3 audiences that were great and dump the one that wasn't. So it's a learning process that you're doing. If you're only testing at $5 a day, you don't learn enough to be able to grow. You don't learn enough to be able to do better the next time. Facebook, any paid campaign, any paid traffic strategy is a test and iteration process. You're always tweaking, you're always learning, you're always getting better. But unless you have enough budget to do that learning, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just throwing money, you're just not throwing money away, but you're not spending wisely. So if you are at that stage of your business where you are looking for growth, you have enough business underneath you that you can afford to jump into Facebook with a real strategy, and you can also afford to bring an outside expert in to help you. I'd love to be that person to help you really develop an ad strategy that's going to get your business humming. If that's the case, give me a call. I'll post a link not in the comment section, in the section above the Facebook Live, the video that I save. I'll post a link for where you can contact me to call me, set up an appointment to call me. I'd love to talk to you. This is just a discovery call. We're just talking about what your business is. Are you ready to think about Facebook ads? Is this really going to help you? Are you at the point where you can consider jumping in with both feet to see if, and I'll just talk you through it so we can see if you're ready to even jump in. So again, this is not a heavy-duty sales thing. I don't have a team of sales guys behind me who are selling. It's just an opportunity to talk to you about your business. So see that link above, and if you are inclined, schedule a call to talk to me. I'd love to talk to you. So that's my long answer to that question that I get daily about how much to spend on your ads. My short answer is somewhere between $350 and $700 to start out with, so that you are building a campaign strategy that's going to allow you to grow. So that's it for me. I hope that was helpful. Any questions, give me a holler. You can comment on on the Facebook page or contact me with a call. I'd love to talk to you about your businesses and see how I can help you. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and I'll talk to you soon.